Hi everybody, Chris here from Astrology Gossip. Today we're going to be talking about Juice WRLD. He's a rapper who passed away yesterday, December 8th, at Chicago's Midway Airport. He was on his way from California back home to see his friends and family and passed away in the airport. We'll take a look at the Flying Stars and see what they had to say about him at that time. Stay tuned. So Juice WRLD is a rapper who initially started posting his videos from his cell phone. He would record himself singing, and he uploaded them and ended up getting a contract to become a professional rapper, and is one of the few people that I found that was successful using SoundCloud as his initial platform. Anyway, he's been around for a while with his music, but he just turned 21 this month on December 2nd, and he was flying home to see his family back in Chicago and passed away in the airport, Chicago's Midway Airport. His flight got in, he was seen walking through the airport, and blood was coming from his mouth. So I wanted to take a look at his Flying Stars to see what was going on at the time. And what I was able to find out is that Juice WRLD has had a girlfriend named Ali Lada, who is a YouTuber, a well-known person on YouTube. And then he also has been dealing with drug addiction from a very young age and has been trying to combat this off and on pretty much his whole life. And if any of you have ever had a friend or family member who's dealt with drugs or alcoholism, you know how hard it is to break this habit. Raise your hands if you've seen that. I know I've seen that a lot in my lifetime. So anyway, apparently he was addicted to codeine most recently, and publicly announced in July of 2019 that he was going to stop taking it. And he made the announcement, I don't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter, but anyway, announced to his girlfriend publicly, I'm going to quit doing this because I know it's screwing up our relationship, and the relationship's important to me. So anyway, this whole year has had a series of stars that are tricky for him. In fact, he had the exact same stars that Brother Nature did. Brother Nature got beat up on December 7th. Juice WRLD passed away on December 8th. They were both born the same year. They have the same stars. So if you want to take a look at that video, you can do that. I'll post that up here. But anyway, at the time that Juice WRLD passed away, he had a number of different flying stars, and everybody has flying stars that affect your success, your health, your relationships, and your decision making or learning. So these stars will influence how your year, how your day, how your month goes. So for Juice WRLD at this time, his stars for health showed that it was actually good for travel. So it's probably, even though we don't know what would have happened if he hadn't flown to Midway, it was probably a good thing that he did, because paramedics arrived as soon as people saw that he was bleeding from the mouth. They called for paramedics. They showed up. They were able to help him. So it was probably better that he was traveling at this time when all of this happened for him, when he passed away. But it's also showing that he was in disagreements with women, that there was energy going on that showed that women in his life were too controlling, which could be his girlfriend, could be his mom. It shows older women. So I don't know who that would be. I'm guessing it would be his girlfriend, but it could also be his mom, because she lives in Chicago and he went to go visit her. And his health direction is also related to the mouth. Well, he was bleeding from the mouth when he died. We still don't know the cause of death as of yet. His relationship direction showed that it was good for romance, but romance isn't always good for getting along with people. You can have sex with people and not get along with them, right? So it's good for romance, but it also shows possible heart and eye problems. The stars sitting here, so it'll be interesting to see what comes of the autopsy, because it may show issues related to his heart. His success direction shows that he had stress as a result of disagreements with older women. So again, we have this stress coming up with women too controlling, disagreements with older women. And then his wisdom direction, which is like decision making, shows arguing at this time, especially with men. So he could have been having disagreements with friends of his or other people, or just in general, but the energy is tied to men. But since these other two are tied to women, I would say the majority of the difficulties that he was having that were creating stress in his life was related to women. So for the year, what the stars are showing is that his relationships were leaving him feeling burned out. I know when you're a musician, when you're a celebrity of any kind, your schedule is busy a lot. So he could have felt just really burned out from his work. It was his birthday week, so he was traveling for that and celebrating with friends, traveling to see his mom. If he was having difficulty at this time with his relationships with other women, that could have left him feeling burnt out. For the year, it's showing hard work for his success. So it was a year he probably spent more time working on his career than normal, and that can leave you stressed out and tired too. So that's another reason that he could have chosen to use coding to compensate for all of the stress in his life. These celebrities have a very different life than the rest of us. They're publicly known, so they can't really go out in public without people saying, hey, aren't you so-and-so, and wanting to talk to them or ask them for autographs. Their work schedule is 24/7. It's not like us from 9 to 5. There are a lot of things, a lot of demands on their lives, which really, could cause you to stress out. And then his wisdom direction, which is all about making decisions, shows that he's going to make decisions that are not good for him this year. It's the disaster star. So the disaster star doesn't always have to be disastrous, but when you have a drug addiction, when you have stress in your life, it can lead to making poor decisions. And it seems like that's kind of what the combination was leading up to his death yesterday at Midway Airport. So as I was looking for information on Juice WRLD, because look at me, I'm a 50-year-old white woman. What do I know about rap, right? Nothing, zero. What I did find is that his girlfriend is Ali Lotta, or was Ali Lotta. Ali is older than him, like a few years older than him. Disagreements with older women, too controlling. Disagreements with older women. That's why I think the stars are pointing to challenges with his relationship with Ali. Not that she's causing the problems. That's not always the case. Sometimes it's that whoever is nagging on you, like when you have these stars, when a certain person is nagging on you, it's just too much for you. They may be right, but it's still like you're not taking it well. It's not working out for who you are. You're not able to handle that well. But on December 6th, she tweeted a couple of things that made me kind of raise my eyebrows a little bit. She tweeted, "You are enough," and she also tweeted, "Where is your mind?" So this tells me it could have been directed to anybody, right? But more likely, probably directed at him. So the fact that she's saying "you're enough" tells me that probably he's having some doubts, like worrying in his mind, or doubting who he is as a celebrity and whether he's whether he's good enough to be the superstar that he's becoming. Because a lot of us have self-doubt when we succeed, right? We've been at this level for a long, long time, and now all of a sudden things start to get really good, and we go, wait a minute, because it takes us out of our comfort zone. It makes us question whether we're a fraud, whether we're just acting, whether we're making this up, whether we're doing a snow job on somebody else. So it could be he was having feelings like that about himself, and especially as a rapper, as a famous rapper for his music. And then she also posted, "Where is your mind?" So that tells me that he was probably making choices. Here we go, the disaster star, right? Making decisions, where is your mind, that weren't good for him. So my guess, and who knows, we'll find out about the autopsy soon, is that he went back to drugs, whether it was codeine or something else, to handle the stress in his life. And he'd been on drugs for a long time. It's not like he just started this in his 20s. Some people's bodies can handle drugs for a long time. I had a relative who was a raging alcoholic from the time I was a child until he passed away he was in his 60s, but he'd been a raging alcoholic for over 40 years, like every day drinking lots and lots and lots and lots. Some people's bodies can handle that for decade after decade. Other people, their bodies are more sensitive. So when you look at people who have drug problems and you go, well, how come that person has lived for decades and they have a drug problem still decades later, and other people are on drugs for maybe 10, 12 years or maybe even less. I think he was a drug addict since he was like 12 or 13. I was trying to remember what I read. So maybe not quite 10 years in his case, but their bodies can't handle it. They're more sensitive to the chemicals and the drugs, and so they pass away. So it's unfortunate because, I see these pictures of him and oh my God, it breaks my heart because I have a son who's not too much younger than him, and I see these kids and how much talent they have, and it's just so sad that somebody like this would be taken so young, It'd be nice if we had a system for these kids who are coming up through YouTube, through SoundCloud, through Instagram, or wherever it is that they're coming into stardom from, to help them to cope with these changes, because they're just kids. They're just kids. They don't know how to handle the fame. They don't know how to handle the money. They don't know how to handle the attention. Do they like it? Yes, they love it. Who doesn't want to be in the spotlight, especially when you're this young and this talented, right? But the emotional and mental skills that you need to handle big jumps like this in your life, and where you're thrust into the spotlight every single day, you need to have somebody who can help guide you through that and help coach you. So, maybe that's something that these music producers can start looking at and start helping these kids with, because it's really unfortunate. But anyway, that's the end of the Flying Star analysis for Juice WRLD, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and hopefully we don't hear any more stories like this for a long time. Talk to you soon. Bye.